Welcome to Game Face. This is the Southern New Hampshire University show where we meet our coaches and our athletes. I'm Bob Lipman from Athletic Communications. In just a little bit, we're going to catch up with Adriana Timberlake, back-to-back NCAA appearances and a 1,000-point scorer for SNHU women's basketball. But I have Coach Sean Walsh from ice hockey to get us going on the show today. Coach, always good to see you, and the season is underway now, and I know you have to be excited about the start of the new season.
Yeah, the start of the new season it's always an interesting year, right? Every year it's a new group, and we have a younger group this year. We have 18 freshmen, sophomores, and they work hard every day, and it's a competitive group. It's a new group, and I think we have a pretty cohesive group as of right now.
It is, as you point out, a very young squad, so you're going to turn to some of your experienced players then to provide some leadership.
Yeah, we have Ethan Rodriguez as our captain this year as a junior, and we're going to depend on Matt Amante, Jackson Aldridge, Derek Flynn, Connor Ball, and a handful of others to kind of come in and help with the leadership group along with Ethan, and kind of hopefully get the younger guys up to speed of what we're trying to accomplish here.
Coach, what's it going to take to be successful?
Yeah, I think part of it, Bob, is it's going to be patience. With us being a younger group, it's going to depend on our learning curve. And I think the one thing that we have this year, a little bit different than in the past, is I think we're much faster. I think we're extremely competitive this year. So I think it's going to be patience. It's going to be a key for us, but continuing to get better every day is going to help us strive to our goals.
It's the first time that I can remember in a number of years where you haven't had much experience in goal, and so you'll be turning to one of three guys this year.
Yeah, Cam Bernard comes back as the older veteran as a junior, and then we have two freshmen with Sean Guerin and Colin Berkey. So it's been pretty competitive between the pipes. They've all had good days. They've all had shaky days, but it's one of those things that they push each other to, be better every day, and that's kind of what we're looking for.
We're going to take Coach Walsh back through the days when he was a student here at Southern New Hampshire University. How about, while we stay on the hockey team for a moment, how do you recruit? What is involved in convincing young players? Your goalie, Garrett, you brought up, for instance, is from Chicago. How did they get here to play hockey for Southern New Hampshire?
Yeah, we do a wide search. We go to a number of showcases beginning of the year, whether it's the Eastern Hockey League, the NCDC, the USPHL, the CCHL up in Ottawa, the Northern Ontario League, where we did find Sean Guerin, and we went to the OJ this year, which is the Ontario Junior League up in out of Buffalo in Ontario, and we try to get a feel for kids and evaluate them early in the year, continue to communicate them throughout the year, and the most important thing for us is we try to get them on our campus and show how beautiful our campus is here. And it's one of two things: they come on our campus and they love it, and they see everything we have to offer, or it's just not for them. And from there we try to compile our list, and we try to rank the guys, and we try to start from the top down. And it's kind of a long process to get to where we are by the time September rolls around.
Most sports, the athletes are coming from high school directly to Southern New Hampshire University. That's not true with hockey.
Yeah, that's not the case for hockey. I believe we have one player directly from high school, and that's Jack Gray, played prep school at Tilton. The other 27 guys, the other 26 guys on our team came directly from junior hockey. So in between high school and college, they have up until they turn 21, they can play junior hockey, and there's a number of leagues throughout Canada and the U.S. And that's where we predominantly get our players. And part of it is they get bigger, faster, stronger, a little bit more mature when they come in as freshmen. And when they get to school, we feel like they're more ready to be in the books academically because they have their friends from back home who are, juniors and seniors, and they're talking about getting internships and jobs, and these guys are now just getting to their freshman year. So it's a unique and very different. The closest thing would be junior college, but some of these kids aren't working or taking classes. So it's with hockey, it's very unique having the junior hockey.
One of your Northeast 10 champion hockey players has joined your staff this year, Chris Moquin.
Yeah, Chris Moquin, he was a two-time captain for us and a really big part of our leadership group when we came here and really helped us turn around the program. Chris is a really smart hockey player, and he's brought his hockey mind and some different ideas and different ways to go about things, and it's kind of a fresh view, and he's on the younger side, and he's been in this area, and our players know him and kind of know his accomplishments and playing pro hockey a little bit after. So it's a nice, new, fresh voice, yet at the same time, he kind of knows what is expected here from our staff too.
Coach Sean Walsh, SNHU Ice Hockey, plays at the Ice Den Arena, just a short drive from campus. Love to have you come out and check out our games. Not sure when you're going to be watching this first weekend in December, are the rivalry games with St. Anselm College that you'll be hosting. Coach, I did mention earlier, you're an SNHU alum. So can you take us back to how you ended up here and what did you study and what did you do?
Yeah, so the first time I remember is there was a career fair at my high school, and I went around.
Which was where?
Tewksbury High School.
Okay.
And it was interesting. It was New Hampshire College at the time, and it was right in the middle of them changing from New Hampshire College to Southern New Hampshire. So it was interesting, and we kind of looked at what they had for majors, and there's a couple of different things that they had that I was interested in, with communications and sport management and history, and came up here for a tour and really liked the campus, and the campus is night and day now compared to what it was back when I was looking to come to school when I was in high school. Obviously, there's a lot of changes. The entire other side of the road was all woods. So it's kind of unique to remember when I was coming here originally to what it is now. And I have friends from college who ask me about the school, and it's like, you need to go on the campus. It's night and day compared to when we were here.
And what did you study?
I studied communications.
And you became a hockey coach. So draw that line for us from A to B.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier about Adam Mercer working for Stop It Goaltending, and at the time there was Super Skills Hockey, and they had a company right in my hometown of Tewksbury, and they built a rink, and they were looking for people, and my brother played for them, and I started coaching there and doing skills. It was actually Mari Martinello who owns the rink at the Ice Den, and then Brian DeCord, and I just kind of really wanted to get into coaching, and I took the leap of faith and got a job at Adrian College. I was there for a year, and I had 2 years at Lawrence University out in Appleton, Wisconsin, before coming back out east and spending 7 years at UMass Boston before coming here. So it's a long road that it's kind of a big circle that had to go all the way out west to come back east.
The SNHU program had traditionally, not on the schedule this year, a stovepipe tournament that we played at the Ice Den around Thanksgiving time. That's not, as I mentioned, not on the schedule this year. But you have a pretty nice something new to do with the guys this year when we get going in 2024.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things that go into it. Is we're not going to play Thanksgiving weekend, which we traditionally have with the stovepipe tournament that you're talking about. And we're going to play a benefit game in Woburn on Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and then our guys will have a decent break of 5 days to go home and whatever, and then the start of second semester we'll be playing in the Boston Landing tournament, which is where the Boston Bruins practice with. We'll play Nichols College, and then we'll play the winner-loser of Tufts and Wentworth. So it's an interesting opportunity that for some of our local guys, they'll be able to play in both a public rink that some of them have played youth hockey in, and then to play at a place where the Boston Bruins practice that you can, when you're on the bench, you can actually see the Mass Pike right through the glass. So it'll be a pretty interesting setup, and I know our guys are pretty excited about not only going to a different facility, but playing some teams that we don't normally see.
So that means you'll be home for Thanksgiving weekend?
We'll be home for Thanksgiving weekend.
What do you like about Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving, there's a lot to like about. The best part for me, I think, is being with your family and your close ones, and having young kids. It's really nice to see the excitement and seeing different family members, and obviously, there's a zillion food, and it's one of those days that you try to go on. You try to walk around the next day because you're trying to get back to your belt size. So, but yeah, it's one of my favorite holidays of the year. So,
thank you for spending some time with us today. Hope you have a terrific season. All the best to you and the Penmen.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, Coach Sean Walsh, thanks for spending a few minutes with us, and we'll continue with more Game Face. In just a moment, I'll remind you, as always, SNHUpenman.com to check out the latest stories, schedules, interesting tidbits about our players. We'll continue. We welcome you back to Game Face, and again, thanks to ice hockey coach Sean Walsh. And as I teased at the beginning of the show today, we're joined by 1,000-point scorer Adriana Timberlake of SNHU women's basketball. The club's been to back-to-back NCAA tournaments, and we'll be running towards what, Adriana, you hope will be a third straight trip. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And how excited are you about the start of another basketball season?
Oh, I'm very excited. I think I'm more hungry than I was last year. Obviously, losing in the NE10 championship was tough, and definitely want to get back at that this year and get a W.
Yeah, and again, I'm not sure when you're going to be watching this. The team opening with Franklin Pierce on the 15th. We have games at St. A's, back here to play St. Michael's at the end of the month. You can always get our schedule at snhupenman.com. Braintree, Massachusetts to Hooksett, New Hampshire. Is that right?
Yes.
You want to fill us in on what led you to decide to join Coach Pinkos' program?
Yes. So through my high school years, I wasn't a very heavily recruited player. So I had been making the decision between going to either prep school or choosing between two NE10 schools. I came to visit here at SNHU and watch practice, saw the team chemistry. I thought it was amazing. I had a former teammate, Jenna Roach, played high school with her. She was here. That was a big deciding factor. I was very happy to come into a program where I knew someone here, felt comfortable with her. She's always been like a big sister to me in high school and in college, so that was a big deciding factor. But I'm very, very happy with my choice that I made.
And getting to play a little bit of bonus basketball here. Unfortunately, COVID threw everything way out of whack. And now you've seen this program go through the best 2 years in program history. You want to kind of reflect on what the last couple of years have been like, and we'll talk a little bit about this year's team.
Yeah, so I actually joked about it the other day in practice that I'm very grateful for COVID, for this opportunity to come back as a fifth year, but the last 2 years have been amazing. I love winning, and I hate losing, so these 2 years of having a winning program has been very cool to see. I've been alongside very, very good players, Gianna Russell, Meg Nolmeyer, Ari Koivisto. I just think this program has definitely stepped up and made a very good turn for Southern New Hampshire.
And you think it's in pretty good shape for the future beyond the young players?
Yes, definitely.
When you, and let me bring you back now, you say you're really competitive. Where did that come from?
Well, growing up with an older brother, everything was a competition. My dad played basketball in college too, so he's a big competitor as well. So growing up, my brother played every sport you could think of, and I always wanted to do what he did. We would be playing mini hockey in the basement. We'd get into fist fights over that. We'd be playing knockout in the basement. We'd get into fights over that. We'd be in the driveway playing horse, we'd fight over that. So it was always a competition with my brother in seeing who could be better. Most of the time he won, but that's okay.
Was it always basketball for you?
Yes. I did play softball, soccer, volleyball, but basketball was my main sport.
And today, Dad and your brother are two of your biggest supporters.
Yes, they are.
They love the Penmen, and we love watching you as well. What's it going to take for the Penmen to be successful this year? I mean, look, we have a long, long way to go before we know the outcome. But what are you looking for?
Definitely playing as a team. Coach has always said to stay level-headed. Again, we made it to the championship last year, and I think working as hard as we possibly can to make it there this year, we'll be in a good spot.
Take us through what else you're doing here at Southern New Hampshire University.
So I'm getting my MBA, and I have a concentration in sports management this year.
Do you know what that means for the future? Can you think of a dream job maybe you'd love to pursue?
I definitely know I want to coach. I've decided not in college. I definitely would want to coach in the younger. But honestly, I have no idea what I want to do.
What scares you away from the college game? The full-time hours?
Yeah, I think it's more, I mean, I've seen my dad, he coaches at the high school at home. He has a very good balance of coming to my games, going to my brother's games. So being a college coach, you don't really have that flexibility. And being in high school or AAU program, you can be flexible and have other activities to do.
I know a game day or a travel day may be different. For Adriana Timberlake, what is a typical day like?
Game day, I wake up, I go to Dunkin' Donuts, and I get a sesame seed bagel, toast with cream cheese on it. That is my go-to meal on game days, anywhere and everywhere. I try to get a sesame seed bagel. Away games, it's kind of tough. If we're staying over, we try to find the nearest Dunkin' Donuts. Then I put my headphones on, listen to music, get into the locker room. I always put my right sock on, then my left sock, my right shoe, left shoe. I wear the same spandex sports bra. Big superstition person. I straighten my hair every game, and then I'm ready to go.
You miss studying in there somewhere. Where does that fit in for an athlete?
That is after game days, so the next day or the day before. Typically not on game day. I'm not really focused on my schoolwork on game day. I'm more focused on getting that W.
Adriana Timberlake, how about eating as an athlete, and what is it? Is it different during the season than it might be outside of the season? What are you thinking?
I wouldn't say it's different. I definitely get my 3 meals a day. In between there, you get some snacks in, but I definitely have breakfast, lunch, and dinner to fulfill my body. I know I'm burning a bunch of calories in practice and lift, and in between those times, just grab a snack and go.
And this year, you're going to play a game right before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Do you get an opportunity to go to be with the family on Thanksgiving? How does that work?
Yes.
And what do you most look forward to on Thanksgiving?
So we do play right before Thanksgiving. After that game, we're allowed to go home. It's probably one of the best times to go home. I get to see my extended family. We go over to my aunt and my uncle's house. All my cousins are there. It's really the first time since being at school that we get to see and spend time with our extended family, my grandparents. And it's really fun. We just hang out, we watch football, we watch anything and anything on the TV. And it's a really good time just spending the time together.
Adriana Timberlake, give our fans a reason to come out and watch SNHU women's basketball this year.
What's the reason why?
Because you're gonna have fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have
You're gonna score
fun.
lots of points.
Yes.
You're gonna win lots of games.
Yes, we're gonna get a lot of W's this year.
But you need fans in the stands.
Yes, come see us play Southern New Hampshire women's basketball.
And that's Game Face. Thank you very much again to Coach Walsh. Adriana Timberlake,
Thank you.
have a terrific season.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.